What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with 13.5 weeks out physique update from the mutant Nick Walker. And this picture right here perfectly describes why he was nicknamed the mutant. That is unbelievable size, no wonder why he said he's gonna smoke Derek Lunsford in the side shots. Look at that freaking side leg. So gone are the days when Nick and his team were trying to make him look pretty, or trying to fix his aesthetics. Because he will only succeed as a mass monster, as a freak of nature. And those are his intentions going into this year's Pittsburgh Pro. Now next situation, specifically with his quads, especially from the front, and how they do not look that appealing because of the lack of the outer quad sweep. We all know that is always gonna be the case. But his legs from the side, they're probably some of the best in the business. And from the back too. And this just perfectly sums up the importance of genetics in the pro bodybuilding scene. Now, Nick Walker himself said that if only he had the quad sweep like that of Hard Rubiel, he would have already won the Olympia, and I kind of agree with that. Because if we all just ignore Nick Walker's New York Pro version, which was his last shoe, he has been one of the most consistent guy in the men's open class ever since he turned pro. And we all know his structural deficiencies are the biggest hurdles for Nick Walker. Now, the last time the judges did say that his quads were visibly improved from the front last year when he competed at the New York Pro. So he has to somehow bring that same size, but control his waist more and bring that same waistline that he had back in 2021 or at the Olympia 2022. Now I am 100% sure the fans will be all over Nick's hype train in case he wins this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro, because that will simply mean he's well on his way to challenge the top 3 at the Olympia later this year. So this is easily the best physique update that Nick Walker has posted in a very long time. And I for one am very pumped for this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro and see Nick Walker back on the stage. Guys, Mr. Olympia Signature Series is now live on hostel.com. Use the code FAZI10 to get 10% discount and click the arrow below to check out all the hostel products. So what was so different about Samson Dauda at the Olympia last year, other than his improved conditioning compared to his previous showings? Well, I have to say his posing was also much improved, because back at the Arnold, especially in Ohio, Samson was getting this criticism that he just isn't controlling his midsection as good as Hadi Chopin did. And listen to this. Samson's posing and presentation for this year's Arnold Ohio, that is gonna be on point, because he has been posing half an hour every single day after 1 hour of cardio on the empty stomach.
About hours cardio now, and get ready. We get finished cardio and then we pose for about half an hour after that and go through our posing. This is something that, especially at this stage, we practice posing constantly, and it gets to the point where it's almost tedious because it's just repetitive and boring. But it's what you have to do to make your posing and your appearance and your performance on stage just seamless and effortless. Is practicing your posing over and over and over again. So doing that every morning, and then by that point, you're pretty much just absolutely shattered.
So one cannot even imagine the misery a 300 pounds bodybuilder goes through when he has to do rounds and rounds of posing on literally zero energy. But the thing is, if that is what makes Samson Dauda more shredded than the Olympia last year, then that is what he's willing to do to get that $500,000, because that's what's on the line this time. So seeing Samson Dauda doing all the things necessary in order to surpass that Olympia look, that just makes your belief more strong that is more than likely to win his second Arnold in roughly 3 weeks' time. Now, as a reigning Mr. Olympia, he must be feeling more pressure than ever before. The pressure to show up 100%, because the Olympia was undoubtedly his all-time best. But he believes there is more in his tank, and he can improve even on that package. Next up, we have a 14 weeks out physique update from Rubiel Mosquera aka Nexilla. 14 weeks to go till the New York Pro, assuming he stays committed to doing this show, because his 2024 track record, that just tarnished his reputation big time, because he kept pulling out of all these shows, one after another. So based on his pro debut, which was at Prague back in 2023, we the fans still believe that the man is just 29 years old, and he can be a force in the future if he stays committed. He has some of the biggest legs in the entire bodybuilding history, and the man has just got that inhuman size. That also led to his victory over Nathan Diesha in Prague And Nathan is that guy who has 11 pro wins. So if Rubiel's mind is in the right place, it's just a matter of time till we see him on the Olympia stage. And it can happen as soon as this year. Now obviously it is gonna be super hard for him to win the New York Pro and get his Olympia qualification there. If guys like Nick Fokker and Martin, they are also gonna be there. But he has to stay on diet. And the longer he stays in the contest prep, the better the chances of him bringing that top-notch conditioning. And also more chances of him bringing out that more detail in his physique. Because that's what the judges and all the bodybuilding fans wanna see on Rubiel. So the biggest mistake that Rubiel made last year was not committing to doing Italy Pro after competing in Dubai, because he was in a good condition at Dubai Pro and he only needed a few more weeks of dieting to get extra crispy and to bring out more detail. Nevertheless, Rubiel versus Nick Fokker or Martin, that isn't a matchup because those two guys, they have way more muscle quality, but the comparison itself, that will be super unique. And also we have to keep in mind, Michael Crizo is also gonna be there. And we all know nobody can surpass Rubiel. Guys, Gorilla Beer is offering a massive discount of up to 70% right now. Use the code Fazi10 to get 10% extra discount. So one of those bodybuilding legends, the biggest believer in Derek Lunsford's ability to shock the world and win this upcoming Arnold, Chris Cormier, is back in Derek's camp, pushing him during these final few weeks before we see him on the stage. So this is exactly what Derek Lunsford needed, the extra motivation and more innovating posing, because there is no guy better than Chris Cormier when it comes to perfecting someone's posing and presentation. Now Derek gets a lot of hate for no reason, when the fans should be very thankful to him for putting his name for this upcoming Arnold, because Derek has brought nothing but hype for this upcoming Arnold, because otherwise it just would have been a Samson Dauda show. So this upcoming Arnold is gonna be so memorable because of the fact that 3 Olympia winners, they are competing in 3 weeks time. Well, 4 if you consider Sean Carida. Now Chris Cormier has been a big believer of Derek ever since they got together. And yes, I know he is biased, as is every coach. But there is a high likelihood that we are gonna see much more improved quads from Derek this time around compared to what we saw at the Olympia last year. And we already know the margin of improvements for Derek, they are just a lot more than Samson Dauda this time around, because Derek was just off at the Olympia last year, while Samson Dauda was at his all-time best at the Olympia last year. Next up, we have the physique update from Matt Gregor. He is most definitely one of the fastest improving physiques in classic physique division at the moment. And those top guys, they better not sleep on him, because firstly, this is a very small classic lineup, so there is a zero chance of anyone getting overlooked. And as a top 10 Olympia finisher from last year, there will be eyes on Matt Gregor. So this will turn out to be such a good story, probably the same as Danimal, because some of us do see Matt Gregor switching to the men's open bodybuilding in the near future, just like Stanimal did, because he also started as a men's physique competitor, and then he switched to a bigger division, and the rate at which Matt Gregor has been going, he will soon outgrow classic physique. Now most of these classic guys, they are bang on target in terms of condition this close to the show, and Matt is no different. The height and the width, they are gonna be his biggest advantages against guys like Mike Sommerfeld and Michael Dabol. And Mike Sommerfeld winning the Arnold, that will be good news for guys like Matt Gregor, because that will mean that the judges are willing to reward more dense and more muscular physiques, as Mike and Matt, they are 2 of those more muscular type of physiques in this year's classic physique Arnold lineup. So do let me know what you guys think, how high can Matt place, and also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.